talk about these players.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get into this. All right, so Hurricane, formerly known as Tier, former Epic Open player, played 9 matches of Pro League. The majority of those last season, I think all but one. And he's 0-2 versus Zerg. So he's had a rough time in this matchup. I think it was probably his worst matchup at Wings of Liberty as well. No, but again, like I said, most known for his PBT. And he has to play against a Zerg again today. The underdog for sure going into this one.
Yep. 0-2 against Zerg. I mean, sometimes when you see stats like that, it's not the biggest indicator of like where these guys stand in the matchup. You know, maybe he has practiced a lot more than Leenock going into this one. We don't know. Again, sometimes it is a mystery coming into the matchups.
By the way, this guy over here also used to be on Epic Open. He is the former teammate of Tier back in the day. It's Hurricane now. Well, these guys used to practice together. They used to live together. They know each other really, really well. And as you can see, you know, Leenock only 1-1 versus Protoss in Pro League. He's only played 2 games. Yep. So not a lot of history here, but definitely a top player.
One of his matchups was on Outboxer as well. I think that was against Rain, where Rain was taking the islands with air toss on the map. Didn't quite do that great in that game. And he played pretty well, but he wasn't able to win it. I think that was his loss, but coming back here to Pro League, looking to make a stake on the scene here.
One of the top winning players of GSTL, by the way, the anchor of Epic Open in Leenock, the best player they had back in the day. All right, can Tier bring us to the ace match, or is Leenock going to finish it off?
Up here in the top right, in the red, the Protoss player, it is Hurricane.
And down to the bottom left in blue, StarTale-yoe, it's Leenock, former teammate of Hurricane. Now splitting into different teams, taking different paths. But they end up meeting each other here yet again. Now not as teammates, not as friends, but as enemies. And for Leenock, this is how to close it out, get StarTale's win here. For Hurricane, it's just forcing an ace match.
Yeah.
Which will be on merry-go-round, by the way, if that does happen, so something to keep in mind.
A lot of pressure on both of these players, actually. Sometimes, though, I feel like it's more pressure on the guy who's in that spot of Leenock, where it's like, oh, your team's up 2-1. You got to close this out before it goes to ace match, because ace match is just like this wild, wild west zone where anyone could come out, and it could be any matchup, and you're not exactly sure. It could go either way. Usually you don't want to be there. You want to get as many indicator points as possible. You want to get that 3-1, not the 3-2, or possibly even lose in the ace match.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there is a lot of pressure here on Leenock to actually win this one.
That rally, is he sending this drone to the gold base? I think he is. I think he's going to take that gold. He's going to do it.
What?
He's going to take his opponent's gold. This is very Leenock. We see this all the time from this guy. Loves to do proxy hatcheries, forward hatcheries, nexus blocks with hatches. And you can see here, Tier, keep calling him Tier, it's just habit when I see his face on the bottom left. Hurricane is going to see that there's no hatch. He's going to block this, assuming that this is like, you know, going to be a more normal hatchery timing after pool. But he actually has no idea since he didn't go into the main yet. And this is very sneaky by Leenock. Now he's got to know, he's like, wait a minute, you should have enough minerals by now.
He's coming back in. He's going to see that spawning pool coming down as well as the gas. Let's see if he's tricked by this.
He's like, oh, Yoshi Leenock. He's like, I know this guy is my former teammate. Okay. Probe on the hunt.
Yeah. He's like, what's going on here? Something's weird. Something's going on. This is Leenock.
He does not check Leenock's gold. He knows.
He's like, oh,
check.
Of course, it's my gold.
It's my gold.
He's actually going straight there. He knows exactly what's going on.
These guys probably do practice with each other still from time to time. Not for Pro League matches where they play against each other, but perhaps when they're both playing the same matchup against other teams, since they know each other so well. So he knows Leenock's style pretty well, but Let's see how he's responding to this. Queen's already on the way at both hatches and speed. And we'll see if Leenock just wants to use a big Ling count to take control of the early game and then take his own third base, or if he wants to do an all-in. In the past, on maps like Crossfire, I dare to mention its name, we'd see players like Lucira do stuff like this and then build roaches with the extra minerals and try to kill Proasses that way. But that's not something we really see in Heart of the Swarm.
Think about, Habitation Station. We've seen sometimes Zerg players as well as Terran players taking the gold base and trying to do an aggressive strategy. Definitely can happen. Knowing Leenock as a player, as a person, would not be too surprised. But for now, just speed.
Yeah,
cannot really tell what's going on just yet.
It's going to sneak into the main. Forge is very important to get up here early on, to get cannon set up, to get prepared for the next step here. That sentry pops out just in time to ward this away. Good micro by Hurricane, pulling this pros away at the last second with the defense of that sentry. Leenock is lurking around. Will probably finally be finished off here. Don't think he's going to want to drop the force field for that. He's going to want to save that energy for what comes next. By the way, a fast lair is what comes next. Leenock's all over the place with this one.
That he is. Well, Lynx should be cleaned up here in just a minute.
Well, speed's done, so can run around a little bit longer. Those Lings actually regenerated most of their hit points, so they're actually able to, sustain a little bit more damage.
Yeah. Well, with the lair coming up here, all 3 gases are going to be taken right now.
Yeah, I think he might just try to go straight into Mutas. Not even kidding. And you use Lings to control the map, try to deny some scouting. This probe, actually, that's over here is really annoying because if Leenock could deny that, then he'd feel really good. If he takes his base to the bottom right and he goes Mutalisk, it becomes so much more difficult. Oh, he's going to hide the Spire, too? Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
That probe saw the drone, but I don't know if he was really...
I don't think he was looking. He didn't respond at all. He didn't follow.
He's going to just use Lings to control the map and try to deny scouting, although this probe could potentially see it.
This is a really interesting build. This probe's still waiting, as the observer does see, and we see another hatchery coming down at the gold of his own. Leenock, he's like, what do you mean creep spread? What does that mean? I don't care about that. I don't need to connect any of my bases. I've got mutas.
Well, speaking of creep, he's actually spraying the creep pretty well towards his opponent's base from the gold.
That's all he cares
about.
But
he doesn't have his bases connected. And
well, let's talk about the other side of things. If you look at Hurricane, he's going blink, and unfortunately his forward pylon just gets scouted, so that's definitely going to be taking away some of that power of that build.
Well, a huge win to kill the probe as well, because Lynx can control the map now. That was his only chance of scouting the Spire. Spire's going to give him control. It's going to force Hurricane to play on the defensively, most likely here. Before his Stalker count gets high enough, he's going to want to use a Stalker Warp to save himself rather than to attack. Spines are already up, and he's got so many Speedlings that, I just don't know if a frontal attack on this gold base is really going to work. The creep is about to deny a third base, a normal third for Hurricane. He's got 8 meters on the way. He's got a massive mineral income, and once he gets that other gold base, he's going to have even more, plus the gases he can take there. And attacking that base is so far away that it gives those Mutalisks, again, that advantage of mobility.
You know what? Leenock made 3 spines over here at the forward gold base, but with the creep spread the way it is, I wonder if he may just, try to come towards the front and maybe go for an attack. I mean, he does have mutas, so maybe not quite. Maybe he's just going to try to go for some kind of counter-attacking play, not really fight head-on, make a lot of static defense at your own bases so that the Protoss can't attack you. But so far, the 8 mutas are out.
There are 8 Stalkers, but they're not at home. And here come the first Mutalisk he's going to see. He's going to be so sad. Let's see how many probes he's get. Look at his face as he reacts here. A very immediate, very quick reaction here. Few Stalkers warping in, but guess what? Mutalisk can just fight those straight up. He has Blink. Is it not done? He's not even using it. Okay, there he goes.
He's trying to go for an attack, and you know what? He's coming from the south side where the spine crawlers are not.
Yeah, the spines are not in the right position here.
So
Mutalisks are coming back, and a ton of Lynx too. Force fields are everything right now. He targets down the sentries as best as he can to eliminate those force fields so the rest of the Lynx can actually clean it up.
Force fields.
He does not, and here come the Lynx to try to catch the Stalkers. They've already blinked, and they're going on to creep now, which means the Lynx get even a bigger speed boost. Leenock has total control over this game. He has another gold base. More and more mutas on the way.
He's immediately taken both of the gases at that other gold base. He's got 6 gases already on 3 bases. He is in total control of this game. Blink Stalker's one of the worst compositions you want to have against this kind of play right now. Ling Muta, especially in a straight-up fight.
You want Phoenixes, of course, if you can get them. But look at this. Loses, it looks like just only one Muta there. And he's got 3 more on the way, plus one's going to finish soon. These Zealots get spotted. Poor guys.
Well, they do now.
Well, he's
there he goes.
Not getting anything done with these, I'm afraid. They don't even get a scout off. They don't know where the rest of the bases are.
They see a bunch of Lings coming to his doom. A 4th base being taken here by Leenock. He's in total control of this game right now. He knows the Protoss is on 2 bases, but he's like, oh, I've got him pushed back in his base. He can't even move out right now. I'm going to go for an attack while taking my 4th base.
He's just going to go for the attack. There's no sentry. He sees it. There's no force field. There it is. I mean, of course, a bit too late. The Ling's already streamed through. They pick off that 1 sentry. Now he's a bit caught. This ends up being a bit of an awkward fight for him here. He does try to save some of those Lings, but the force field waits until the last second there. But any trade he can get with the economy he has is going to be excellent. His Mutalisk count is getting higher and higher and higher here. He knows that right now, you know, Hurricane can't afford to make a Phoenix transition off of 2 base. He can only just keep pumping out Blink Stalkers.
Yeah. And with the mobility of the Mutas, rather, he's easily able to come into the main base. The Militia Core is out of position. Finally, it comes back.
He could actually just ignore that if he wanted to. He's going to come back home, of course, though, because this base is under attack now. He needs a little bit of extra firepower. And actually, no. He decides he's going to go for an elimination race.
No reason. I mean, this comp is directly designed to just go for the counterattack. The Nexus Cannon is in the main, and he's just going to go for the attack. There's nothing here. He's trying to make some Zealots to defend against all of these Mutas. And they will do a decent job against the Lings, but that is a lot of Lings.
Way too many. Way too many Lings here. Now, I mean, I don't want to count Hurricane out here, but it's going to be a monumentous task to actually destroy all Zerg buildings. There are plenty of drones still on the map to hide extractors, for example.
That was the last probe right there.
Yep. And that's exactly what I was going to say. Not a single probe. All buildings will soon be revealed. He'll have the exact idea of what he's up against. Even the drones from the main base are starting to escape here.
Yeah, and part of the reason he splits up all of his bases was not only just to take both of the golds, but it's to fight against something like this, because the Protoss army, it's got Blink, it's a bit mobile, but it's not able to be in 3 different places at the same time.
He's still making Mutas. They're about to have +2. To give you guys an idea of numbers, there are 24 Mutas to 22 Stalkers. And he might actually just get killed. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. He's going to either have to GG out, or Leenock will kill him in just a few seconds. The last of the buildings are being killed as we speak. Poor Hurricane, man, losing to his former teammate brutally here with that hidden Spire. And that is it. Game over. Eliminated.
GG, he types it in Korean letters. May get a warning for that. But regardless, Leenock is the winner. He takes the final win for StarTale-yoe and gets them their 2nd win, man. That is a Protoss's worst nightmare, let me tell you. That is some scary play out of Leenock.
That's the kind of plan that comes together perfectly from start to finish. I feel like StarTale brought their A game today. They brought these really solid Zergs, and San, you know, just playing very well in the PvP. I want to say Leenock is quite possibly the MVP here, but Curious played really well. I'd love to hear from either of those. To be honest, San would be a great player to hear from in an interview as well, man. I don't even know what I want to hear from, but I feel like Samsung...
Let's get all 3 of them there in the booth.
I mean, Samsung just had a lineup of players that just could not compete with the matchups, especially. I think they might have gotten a bit unlucky with how they drafted their entries up, with how the matchups lined up. You know, Emotion having to play against San, that's rough. You know, Solar having to play as ZVZ. And then, you know, even Deer going against Life, even though he won that match, probably not what he was planning on doing, probably not what he wanted to actually end up playing. And then Hurricane hitting Leenock as well in his worst matchup. So, a bit unlucky on the entries, but really, StarTale killed it today.
Yeah. You know who I would actually love to see in the MVP booth today would be Deer. His incredible play against Life. But, of course, you know, he's on the losing team. He can't be the MVP. So I would have to go with Leenock here. Just some great play, really pulling around that Protoss around the map. And here you guys do see the results of today. San defeating Emotion, Curious defeating Solar, great ZVZ play. Then Deer able to defeat Life, and then Leenock able to defeat Hurricane for the 3-1.
Yep, stopping that ace trying to happen, getting that +2 indicator. Samsung, on the other hand, going to take a -2 from today. A bit